morning, happy Easter. So, instead of writing the essays that I was planning to do, I decided to tell a story about a bugbear named Gum. So, pretty much, Gumbear, like many bugbears, uh, are sold as very young, as infant ages for trade with the many different classes, societies, whatever. They're slaves because a lot of them are not really smart enough to break the cycle. But anyways, so during a raid, apparently a trade deal gone really bad for one of the breeders and crime lords, whatever. That detail I'm kind of working on still, but anyways, so one of the dwarf riflemen who broke up the raid found a cage full of bugbears. Now, him knowing that he fought against bugbears before, know they're really strong, and he thought it would be a good idea to have bugbears to help him out with the mining since their dwarf armies have been thinned out over the class of wars and stuff. It was a risk that eventually kind of paid off for Father Dwarf. We're going to refer to him as Father Dwarf because him and the rest of the bugbears were miners. Now, this kind of pissed off the Greater Guard, which are the elite squad that was fighting against the bad trade deals or whatever. I guess there are many creatures that do this. They're referred to as outbanders or outtraders, meaning that they don't really have a preference of which alliance they belong to. They just make the deals that people want that really don't want to be known about them. Anyways, so Father Dwarf had the children bugbears. He raised them up to work in the mines. Now, pretty much they don't know they're technically working as slave labor, but you see, Gumbear, my character, was special because he overheard one of the conversations between the deals as the outtraders they are trying to betray Father Dwarf. Gumbear didn't really know the language enough to really decipher what, but he knew it was bad. So Father Dwarf decided to teach him the languages that he knows now, like Goblin Dwarf, because he knows that bugbears. He did not know bugbears had good hearing, so he decided to teach him all the languages. Um, Gumbear wasn't exactly the strongest of them, but he knew he had more than just bricks and stone on his head. He knew there was something different about him. So that's the reason why him and his cub crew were spared. Now, Father Dwarf usually made deals with many races like goblins and so forth, and he would kind of cut the deal off if Gumbear warned him. So he became a little higher tier than the rest of the bugbears at the time. So, with that being said, the whole entire Gumbear disappearing thing, Gumbear doesn't really know what's 100% going on. He just knows to follow leadership. That's the only thing, regardless if it's Father Dwarf or whatever. He follows his instincts, which sometimes, or most of the time, gets him in deep trouble, as you are aware. So, pretty much, he does not know if he will actually return home. He's just trying to work his way to get back home and tell the Father Dwarf the imposters and what he's been through. He believes that Father Dwarf can fix any problem because he's an older dwarf now, but he looks at him as like his only father figure, regardless of how the relationship is. And you probably wonder, what about his brothers and sisters? They're not really his brothers or sisters. They're just other bugbears that were in the mines with him. So that's how that worked out to be. Shoot. But anyways, I'm not sure what happened to his brethren, per se. All I know is that there is some good goblins that exist in trade deals that are somewhere out there, but he doesn't really know. Basically, Gumbear knows the good and bad uh, ore mining and smelters. He knows them to a degree, as in, oh, he knows the symbols they wear. He knows what they smell like. He knows, what they look like in the caves. He knows how they talk, and he knows the ones who con them. He has a really good insight for that when it comes to specifically goblins, though. Only because most of the time goblins are the ones trying to make con, and, well, they get smashed, as a, quote, light term. Uh, Phew. I'm not sure what else to say regarding that part, but I'll continue. So, pretty much, the boot that hit Gum's head kind of knocks memories out, because bugbears don't really think a lot about memories, as in people do. So, pretty much, he kind of lost the concept of what happened to Father, the urgency part of finding Father Dwarf. In that concept, he kind of follows the leadership as, his derpy self will go. As long as there's rocks to smash, Gumbear's going to be there. But, you see, Gumbear wants to be able to make things with the stuff too, just like Father Dwarf does, as well as many of his Father Dwarf's friends. That's what he refers to, the good traders who, trade, ores for ores, or, ores for melted stuff. He just didn't know how Father Dwarf did all that. And what Father Dwarf usually does, he actually used the big furnace. There's two furnaces where Gumbear lives. Gumbear has his own little furnace, which, hi Ginger, where he, tinkers a little bit and try to plays around with stuff, just to come up with ideas, to give him something to do off, mining ores, because Father Dwarf realized if Gum mined all the ores, the mine would be strapped completely, so he had to give him something to do besides mining ores all day. And so he decided, here's a mini furnace, here you go. Now, this furnace is not no miniature, mini science lab or something. This thing is equivalent, a big furnace, to where Gumbear has his little weird trap creations of what I call artwork. Really just stuff he just thought would look, him trying out stuff. He has, the very first time he did it, and he has them all kind of categorized, building up to that point of what he does now, which is not good. It's just there for decoration, if anything. It's like, it's like having your kid draw your artwork on the fridge. That's how it kind of translates to. Did you really have to open my door, girl? Oh, well. Anyways, so Father Dwarf has a big, massive, industrial-sized furnace that really crafts a lot of weapons and some armor here and there, but mostly weapons. So, sometimes he'll tell Gumbear to get certain stuff or bend things certain ways just so make it easier for Father Dwarf because, he's getting older and all that. I gotta shut the door. So, hi, I know you're down there. So, pretty much that's the conclusion of the story. It kind of saves me time writing an essay. I shall explain all of it because making a video is a lot more fun and interesting. And plus, I introduced y'all to my channel. So, anyways, Brandon, I hope this is good. Enough backstory. If you have any other questions, please message me as soon as you can. I guess I should talk about one other thing. I suppose. Gumbear likes things that are like rocks. Obviously. He wants to smash rock, break rock. If he could literally, chew on it, a rock, he would. But he did that once, and he didn't like that at all. So he knows that rocks cannot be eaten. But he loves rock bread. That's what rock bread's for. Usually, sometimes, one of the other bugbears will go hunting. Because, see, Father Dwarf has bugbears doing specific tasks that he used to do himself. Because he's an older dwarf now. So, for example, one of the bugbears goes out and hunts food. And that's all they do. To get food for the clan that they have. In the mines. Gumbear specifically is a miner. And two of the other bugbears are also miners. So Father Dwarf kind of uses the bugbears as, quote, actual children. And he often refers himself as Daddy Dwarf. He even has it on one of his shields that he made as like a family heirloom thing. So overall, he got kicked out for the Grand Guard, but he did gain independence from the Grand Guard when Father Dwarf actually made the whole entire thing and actually made a lot more money and built a lot more things that he wanted to do when he was a kid, but was kind of forced to join the Grand Crusaders and blah 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 war, blah 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 old dwarf. Now, so he just never Father Dwarf doesn't really talk much to his children outside of the whole entire working cycle. So, and I'm not sure if it's just because he wanted things differently or whatever. I'll let you out. You're the one who busted in my door. You little turd. But that's how that went. So, I hope you enjoyed the story. I might make more. I actually enjoyed doing this. See you later, though. See you tonight.